Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode of Maggie Holmes, just kidding. I'm on my, handmade embellishment kit because I want to fill up my little box that I have. Hopefully the glare is not too bad. These are little envelopes, just embellished, little embellishments, and the top is crepe paper. There's these ones. And then these ones, hopefully I'm in frame. And yeah, for these, I used my favorite die ever because it's just so simple and easy. It's called Die Delights, and this is the love letter. This is it. You don't have to fold anything or make anything. So it's perfect when you're, trying to use small scraps. That fits on there and you just run it through your die cut machine. But if you do not have this die, which I know a lot of people don't because it's older, you could just do a regular square that's 2.5 by 2.5, except for I cut that crooked. And just, turn it like a diamond shape and fold up the two sides, and there you go. You basically have the same thing, and you can even put a little crease right here if you want. It's not the same exact shape, but it's the same thing, And then this has some embossing, like words, but on patterned paper, it doesn't even really show up. Like, it's really hard to see it, so, I mean, you don't need any of that. Then you just cut a 1.5 inch by 2 inch rectangle, and that would go in perfectly. And I like to angle it as well, so you can turn it to the left or to the right. But yeah, so if you don't have that, you could just you don't have to use an envelope punch board, nothing. But if you want to get fancy and nicer little edges and corners, you could use your new mini envelope punch board or your your bigger one as well. So yeah. Okay, let's get started. So I had already punched out a bunch of these, and these were the 3 left over that I'm going to do for my examples. But when I had a scrap rectangle and I cut it out with this, it made like a little Polaroid. So I'm like, oh, now I can use these scraps. So it's like recycling scraps on top of scraps on top of scraps. So I love this. And I tried to, mix up. So I cut everything out a bunch of different times, and then I just went and matched everything. So that they're not two of the same, like, obviously, like, this one in this one would look horrible. So I just turned it around, and then you can pick which side, like this top flower piece, like, I'll have that at the top because, it's a prettier piece of the paper. And if you're using the die, like, some pieces hang off, like when I'm angling it exactly where I want it. I don't care if it's hanging over because I will just go in and cut it off. So yeah, those are those guys. So once you have your all your letters and your papers how you would want them, I just go in and glue . You can go through and cut these off right now, or you can wait till the end because there's going to be other stuff that you'll cut off. What I noticed, I was going back and forth cutting a bunch of times, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to wait till the end this next time. So now I'm just gonna cut little flags, is that what they're called? Good. So these first flags that are going on, I'm just making them center with the bottom straight. I'm not angling them or anything like that. Okay, so now I have that first layer of these little flags, whatever they're called. So then I had like scrap vellum, and I was like, this is a perfect place. So I'm just gonna cut oh my gosh, thin slivers, and I'm gonna make these shorter than the actual flag that's already on there, just so that you can see, even though we're covering it kinda, you'll see. Starting getting cray on the embellishments. And then I had a paintbrush on my desk because I have a bunch of crap on my desk. I kind of just rolled these vellums a little bit so that it sticks off away from the little flag that's already on there, just to give it dimension. So then just on the very tip, because we all know vellum and glue, I mean, you can see it all, you know? So I see how it's like a little bit off the page. It's just right on the edge. Like I said, don't worry about the edges because you can cut all that off. So just a tiny bit on the corner. And you can alternate the way these little things go. You can go aim it down, up. That's what I did. You can also use washi instead of paper page flags. I used that on a couple of these. I did washi, like I used this gold washi and stuff like that. Okay, so I like the way that looks. I like the way that looks facing down. Now I'm gonna go in and trim basically all that stuff hanging off the edges, over the edges. I have a lot of buttons and I don't use them very often. I got a lot. I basically got all these colorful ones besides these guys in a D-stash, I think on YouTube. So yeah, I'm just like, okay, I need to use some of these, you know? I really liked these purple shade ones. So now I picked out my buttons. I do like the ones with the 4 holes better because the ones with 2 holes, when I was putting them on, all I kept seeing was pig snouts. Like, it looks like a little pig's nose, so I started turning them, you know, so they were facing up and down versus side to side. Okay, so there's them so far. Then again, oh my gosh, my Hobby Lobby trim is a little piece. Just to one of them, I added, probably put it on this one. Did add a little bit of this trim that I was using on my other projects. I just cut off 2 of the, I don't know what these are called, legs. Let's see which one. I don't know which one I like it better on. Probably this one because it contrasts with the button. Then the last one I left by itself, but you can add more if you want. I was just trying not to make them all the same. Then with my, this is by the Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby, but they also have one, this is a bow one, but they have one from, it's called a Knockout from American Crafts. Butterfly that's super, like, these are tiny, guys, like so tiny and cute. So I just folded them inwards, shiny side in. Okay guys, so my storage ran out on my phone and it doesn't even tell you, like, is there a setting somewhere? It should like beep like memory full. So I like finished the rest of this off camera. I didn't even know. So I finished with those little butterflies that I was gluing on, and I alternated sides. Just, you know, put them wherever on the sheet. Then I put them in my cello bags. And then I got my, I'll show you on the back side. I got my tape runner and went on the very edge of the bag. And I used crepe paper. And I, you know, pushed it down, and then you just start folding. And it'll start sticking to the tape that's on there. And when you get to the end, just cut it off. It may be flopping around, but just glue it down with some hot glue so that it stays. Then I ran some Maggie Holmes. This is Hobby Lobby, but it looks like Maggie Holmes. Trim down the center. And then I put some of these paper flowers. These flowers are from a D-stash here on YouTube, but I don't know if she's D-stashing because it's been a while. I haven't seen any videos. I need to go look. Well, I can't buy anything, but yeah. Then I got this Sharpie marker because they were just to like add a little bit of dimension. I'm going over some of the edges of the flower. And then, like my first video, I just wrapped some twine around my finger 3 times. Then you put a little bit of hot glue, pinch it together so it's like a figure 8. And then shove it under the flower, and it gives that like feathered look. I don't know what that's called, but I think it adds that extra special like touch of, I don't know, so it's not so flat. I like it. I like the way that they turned out. You could even, before you even glue these guys on, I just hot glued these little envelopes on. I didn't use glue dots or anything like that. They could just rip it off with some hot glue. And I only put 3 in a package because I figured if I did 4, then I would only have a couple packages. So doing 3, I could pack up more goodies, you know. Or you could do 2, you know, something, just depending on, I only have 2 sizes of these cello bags really. So I kind of just go based off of that and what works. So this is like, what is this, episode 2, 3, maybe 4 of Maggie Holmes embellishments. And I will have another one. I have another, you know, famous embellishment coming up that everybody does. So yeah, I think they turned out super cute. Super sorry that the end went off. But yeah, so next time I'm just gonna have to keep standing up to see that it's still recording. All right, bye guys.